Hey guys, it's Flip, and today I'm going to do an unboxing and review of this Sunjo manual yard sweeper. We'll take it out of the box and put it together, and then we will test it out on leaves, obviously, and then some other yard debris like acorns, twigs, sweet gum balls, and walnuts. Let's get into it. Now there's lots of ways you can pick up leaves. You can rake them, you can bag them with a push mower, or you can just mulch them right back down into the lawn with mulching blades and a mulching kit. But there is another option, and that's a yard sweeper, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate for you today.
So let's get this out of the box and we'll see what we got.
First of all, be careful when you're cutting that open because your bag is right here below that seam.
So here's everything in the box, including the manual. Now we'll go ahead and put this together.
First, I'm going to attach the base to the sweeper body and then secure it with the screws. Then we'll attach the lower bars right in here with the screws and knobs. Then we'll secure the handle onto the lower bar. Then we'll attach the collection bag to the support rod. Then we'll attach the bag to the sweeper. Pretty easy. So it looks like it just has plastic brushes under here that are driven by the wheels. And that's going to throw the leaves up and into the collection bag. And then you have an adjustment knob here where you can raise or lower the whole housing of the sweeper, which is going to raise or lower that brush. And that's going to allow you to make contact if you have tall grass like tall fescue or a short grass like Bermuda.
So it's all together, and here's my first time using it, and I'm doing this with one hand, so it's a little bit wobbly. I'm trying to hold the camera in the other hand, but I gotta say it's pretty satisfying watching this thing throw these leaves up into the bag.
I get a lot of these oak leaves that are still attached to the branch. We'll see how it does with those. Now here's a bunch of big sycamore leaves. We'll see how it does with that.
So that's doing a great job. As you can see, I'd say the only downside when you're doing big sycamore leaves like this is that you have to dump out that bag every couple passes. Now I'm just dumping these leaves out at the bottom of my hill in the woods, so it's not a big deal. And really you're going to have that problem when you're doing big leaves like this, no matter how you're doing it. If you're using a push mower, you're going to fill the bag quickly. If you're using a rake, you're going to fill your garbage cans quickly. So that's just the nature of the beast when you're doing big leaves like this. The bag on this sweeper is 22 gallons or 84 liters. I'd say the key to this sweeper is just to stay on top of your leaves and be doing this every couple days. That way your leaves are more sparse than this and you're not filling up your bag so quickly. But the nice part of this tool is that it's super easy to just pull out of your garage and get to work. You don't have to worry about fueling it up. You don't have to worry about charging any batteries. You just pull it out of the garage and you're immediately picking up leaves. So now I'm going to show you a time lapse of me cleaning up this little area. This is the kind of spot where this tool does really well. It's flat and the grass is cut low. It can get kind of caught up where your grass is long and it gets harder to push. But in a spot like this, it works really well. It clears a 21-inch path, which is about the same as your average push mower. Then you can just attach your bag and dump it into your compost pile or your garbage can. And I'll show you about how much that holds. It's about 3/4 of a garbage can before I squish it down with the snow shovel. The handle sits at a 45-degree angle. The whole unit weighs 13.9 pounds. There's obviously no gas or cords involved. And it has compact storage. You can stand it straight up against the wall in your garage or shed. The biggest pros of this tool for me is no gas or batteries to deal with. No loud noises like a lawnmower or fumes. It's not going to hurt your back like raking leaves because you don't have to scoop the leaves up into a garbage can. To me, that's the most annoying part of raking leaves, is dealing with the pile after you've raked them up. With this, you just detach your bag and dump them where you want. It's also a great tool, just like a rake, that you can have the kids use to help out around the house. You don't have to worry about them hurting themselves like with a lawnmower. Well, I guess kids can always find a way to hurt themselves, but this is at least going to eliminate the chance of major injuries like with a lawnmower. The only maintenance with this is just keeping all the screws and bolts and knobs tight. And I think this is a good tool for right after seeding your lawn, because you may want to bag the leaves, but you don't want to actually cut the grass, and this would come in handy in that situation. In my case, I'm getting ready to do a fall aeration and overseed, and this works great for clearing debris so your seed can have good contact with the soil. It also works on concrete. I wanted to test that out in case anybody wanted to possibly use this to clean their patio. You can set the brush height from 0.6 inches all the way down to minus 0.4 inches.
Alright, so we're going to start with some specific yard debris testing, and we're going to start off with acorns. Now, I kind of have my doubts about this, as these sit pretty low to the ground and are pretty smooth, and I think they're going to be hard to grab for these brushes, but we'll see how it does. So I've got the brushes moved all the way down, and we'll see if that'll scoop up any acorns. Let's give it a shot. No. Also makes it harder to push when you move the brushes all the way down like this, but we'll give it one more shot. Ah, got a few. So you can't say it won't pick up any acorns. I would say most of them it missed, but I do see 4 or 5 acorns in here that it picked up. So just did one more pass, and it picked a few more up that time. As you can see, it didn't get them all, but there are definitely some acorns in here. So it will pick up acorns. It's not going to get them all, and you do have to drop the brush down all the way, which makes it harder to push, but it will get some acorns. All right, now we'll try sweet gum balls, or as my kids call them, spiky balls. Okay, these are a little lighter, so I moved the brushes up some. Hopefully it has an easier time scooping these up. All right, that was one pass, and I am pretty happy with that. I can tell you that I have tried bagging these with a push mower, and it doesn't work at all. Really, the only thing that works for scooping these up is raking them. So I am pretty happy that this works. So I can bring this out here and pick up the hundreds of these that are always laying in my yard. All right, now we'll try twigs. Well, that was awesome. I think it got every twig but one. So this is great for picking up little sticks. All right, last test. I think this is highly unlikely. I don't think these little plastic bristles are going to pick up these big walnuts, but just for fun, we'll test it out on some walnuts. No, I didn't think so. I could drop it down, but I think the bristles are just going to push them around and roll them through the yard. Those are a little bit too big and heavy. So final testing results: does not pick up walnuts, does a decent job with acorns, does a great job with sweet gum balls and twigs and leaves.
So that's it. Thanks to Sun Joe for sending me out this sweeper. They did not pay me anything, but they did send me this tool in exchange for an honest review. I will put a link to it below the video. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, please hit the like button for me and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.